Okay, guys, here we go. So anyway, yesterday was just a brutal day of work, and I just had too much to do. Gave me a little time to just get a couple extra images ready for you guys. Get ready. Um, so here we go. Let's do what we do here. The Bible says, you know what? Let me just pull it up real quick for you. Okay, so here we go. So the Bible has just the most perfect statement about what you're about to get to see here. I want to show y'all something. You see this? It says, how great the darkness, how bright the light. Now, look, this thing's falling apart. This was my original body of work. Right after I got saved, I was like, oh my gosh, like, how come I have this ability? I was literally struggling with the fact that I had this supernatural ability. And let me tell you something. I'm really, really glad that in the court cases where I won custody of my kids, the courts made me take psychological evaluations because the mom was saying, "Oh, he's crazy. He's on drugs." And so I said, "Well, let's do a drug test. Let's do a psych eval." And so I went and took my drug test right away and passed immediately. She waited 45 days to the very last day to go do hers. Suspect. I went in right away and my psych evaluation said unremarkable. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this guy. There's nothing to look at. There's nothing that's even worth remarking about on his testing. It's called, go look it up. It's called unremarkable testing. And so I was really glad about going in because I was like, I had this ability to see all this stuff that I didn't have before. And there are a couple times when I was just like really like, what the hell is going on? Just being totally honest. And yeah, so when I went and took that psych eval, and then the opposing, Marina went in and took hers, she walked out of hers. She literally started doing the baseline. When you take an MMPI, the MMPI is a comprehensive. You are not going to beat this test. If you got some issues, this test is going to find you out. So they give you a baseline test of like 1,000 questions almost, and they ask you all these questions in different ways, and you have to answer almost 1,000 questions. And then they put it off to the side and they use it as a baseline. And then they call you back in. They ask you the same questions but rearranged. And then like 700 questions. And then they call you back in. They have you answer them in written form again. Then they call you back in and have you re-answer them, 500 or 600 in rewritten form. I mean, it is super comprehensive. Then they do all kinds of other, like one-on-one stuff. So anyway, yeah. So I was really like, yeah, that's great. I was really like, good, because I'm really running into some crazy stuff. So I started writing this down. This is what I started doing. This was my cathartic thing to do. I would start writing in this book on my computer as the stuff was being revealed to me. I'd like to read you the very first page. You know what? I'll just hold it up and I'll read it from there. Let's see. This is the very first thing I wrote. In many ways, life paints a picture that is perception versus reality. Sometimes our perception of life is not even close to reality. Look at the perception many people have of obtaining great wealth. Their perception is that once you have obtained great wealth, they will be happy and all their troubles will go away. The reality is, once they obtain great wealth, they might find themselves far less happy than they ever imagined and with greater problems than they have ever known. In many places, the Bible refers to a different type of wealth that is far greater than gold or silver. This great wealth and contentment comes from God and is found in those people who receive knowledge and wisdom sent by God. But don't forget, this is the very first thing I wrote. This is the very first thing I wrote. Listen as wisdom calls out. Hear as understanding raises her voice. Choose my instruction rather than silver, and knowledge over pure gold. For wisdom is more valuable than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with it. I, wisdom, live together with good judgment. I know where to discover knowledge and discernment. All who fear the Lord will hate evil. That is why I hate pride, corruption, and perverted speech. And then Proverbs 9:10 says, fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Knowledge of the Holy One results in understanding. You are about to receive that kind of wisdom right now. You're about to receive knowledge and wisdom sent by the King. My whole body's buzzing. Wow. Whoa, my whole body is just lit up. Let's do it. Okay, all glory to God. I'm just his servant. I'm just a messenger. Just a messenger. Okay, I want to show you all this definition because some people asked a very legitimate question about the Targum, about when the Lord God cast Adam and Eve from his presence and made for them vestures of honor from the skin of the serpent. A lot of people are like, well, what kind of an honor is that? And I'm going to help you understand because you've misunderstood. Watch. The word honor means, depending on what definition you look at, but the word honor means to fulfill an obligation or keep an agreement. You know, like if you were to choose, like those angels I showed you in Romans 6, the creature will be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty, eleutheria, liberty of the children of God. What does liberty mean? Licentious or legitimate freedom. That's the crossroad right there for God's angels. You either choose legitimate or you choose licentious, one or the other. Okay, so if you choose legitimate, you get everything that comes with legitimate freedom in Christ. If you choose licentious, then you have to fulfill that obligation, which is a host body. Watch. It means to fulfill an obligation or keep an agreement to make sure, let's see, synonyms. Let me go back. Sorry. Synonyms. Uh-oh. Hang on one sec. Let's go back. Hang on one sec. Sorry, guys. I have a touch screen. Sometimes if I touch it, So here we go. Honor means to fulfill an obligation. You honor your agreement or you keep an agreement. It means to fulfill, to observe, to keep, obey, heed, follow, to carry out, to discharge, to implement, to execute. Did it again. To execute. Here we go. To effect, to comply with, to abide by, to adhere to comply with. So if you're to choose that you wanted licentious freedom instead of legitimate freedom, then there would be an obligation for you to get what you had coming, wouldn't there? Let's look at the Targum real quick. Let me show you. This is the whole system. And Adam knew Hava, his wife, who had desired the angel. And she conceived, and she bare Cain. And she said, I have acquired a man, the angel of the Lord. And she added to bear from her husband Adam, his twin, even Habel. Okay, so there it is. That's right out of the Targum. And I've used the Bible, and I've proved out this exact thing using the exact vocabulary out of the Bible and using the concordance. I used the exact same, came to the exact same perfect conclusion as you're seeing right there by using the Word of God, King James Bible, with the concordance and the breakdown of the words. And she augmented her birth, and she added to bear from her birth. It means to continue a process. Abel. So there it is. Adam knew Hava, his wife, who had desired the angel, which is Lucifer, and she conceived and bare Cain. And she said, I have acquired a man, the angel of the Lord, and she added to bear from her husband Adam, his twin. Whose twin? Cain's twin, even Abel. So Cain and Abel were twins. Now let me show you what happened. Let me show you what happened to Adam and Eve. in Genesis 3. This thing's moving a little bit slow. That's all right. Okay, so here we go. Genesis 4. Nope, Genesis 3. Sorry. And Adam called the name of his wife Hava because she is the mother of all the children of men. And the Lord God made to Adam and his wife vestures of honor. There it is. See, vestures of honor from the skin of the serpent, which he had cast from him upon the skin of their flesh, instead of that adornment which had been cast away, and he clothed them. So you lose your glorified body, you get a different kind of body. It's a flesh body. It's the skin of the serpent. Now that I've done that, not spending any more time on it, I've done entire videos on this. So let's continue with what we got to do now. Okay, now let's get to it. Okay, the whole system is twin. It is a double-headed, a good you and a bad you. It is a double you system. Okay, and yesterday I showed you all the dragon stuff. Today we're going to continue very quickly. Cain and Abel, there it is. One's right side up, one's upside down. And then they like to use the V. They like the letter V and the letter V side by side because that's a 5 and a 5. And if you go like that, and a V and a V, 5 and 5, it makes a double U, meaning a good U and a bad U, a right side up U and an upside down U, a double U. So I'm going to take these two V's or Roman numeral 5s and intersect them so you can see it makes the letter W, just like this right here, okay? So that's all the time I'm going to spend on that. Let's get going because we got a lot of ground to cover. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to move this over here. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. Yesterday, I showed you guys, I mean, the Sistine Chapel, the whole wall is a dragon. The entire wall. You're going to see it again, but I'm just going to reference it. The entire wall is a dragon. The cumulative sum of all of the people that are in the painting make up the whole image of the dragon. That suggests that the cumulative sum of humanity equals the dragon. Then I showed you St. John's Pillar. It shows a birth, a baby being birthed just right out of the female vagina. But when you turn that baby upside down, the whole thing turns into the head of a dragon. Well, the Bible says those who try and hide their plans, they turn everything upside down. So I'm showing you who they are. They are the dragon, Satan and his hierarchy of angels. That's who they are. All right. Now, the whole system is twin. Now, Vladimir Putin got inaugurated the other day. And let's take a look at RT, and I'm going to show you a couple things. And then we're going to go to one of the folders, and it's going to be data point, data point, data point, data point. And they're all going to connect, and it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. Okay, whenever you hear or you see articles where they make sure that there's a number in there, like 33 or whatever the number is, like, remember the Democrats when they wanted to make sure they wore their purple ribbons to show the 42,000 deaths from opioids? Wrong. 42 is the number of the coming of the Antichrist. The year that they said they were wearing their little purple ribbons for, there was over 52,000. So why didn't they say, oh, we wore the purple ribbons to show the over 50,000 people? Because it didn't fit the evil behind the scenes, sneaky communication that they wanted to put out. They wanted to wear a purple ribbon representing what the dragon runs. He runs that system, the blue and red, put them together. He runs the purple system, and he's the king over it, and that's why they use the number 42. Remember on the floor of Congress when all the demo rats had their purple ribbons representing the 42,000 deaths? They used the number 42 on purpose because it showed that that's the coming of the Antichrist. And the purple represents, the king, their king. Okay, here we go. Let's do it.
Putin's stairway to presidency, so to speak. He will climb these 58 steps.
See, 58 steps. Okay, now here's the thing. I'm not going to break down all the numbers. It's not that important. We're going to break down the real substance. That's what's important, but you know what? Been there, done that.
To the halls of the palace, also the site of the inauguration ceremony.
Stop. Wait a minute. Okay. So they're going to go right now into the hallway where Putin's going to be, inaugurated. Okay. Once we do this little blurb here, we're going to go on to about a 5-minute recap of the Apple building. Okay. Remember Apple, Macintosh, Son of Thane? Okay. And then we're going to bring it all to, we're going to connect all this to Putin's inauguration. That's impossible, but we're going to do it. Watch. Double-headed phoenix going in the door. Whoa, what's that right there on the wall? What's that? That's the all-seeing eye inside the sun. 2 pillars on the right, 2 pillars on the left, going under the double-headed phoenix, and there is the all-seeing eye right in the middle of the sun, right over the throne where Putin's going to sit. Okay, here we go. I want y'all to all pay attention to this. You see this right here? See that star? Count the points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is the star of Venus and Ishtar. Ishtar, Venus. It's interchangeable. So you have the star of Venus on the ceiling right here. There's the star of Venus here, here, here. It goes all the way under the arch. I took a virtual tour. And look what you have up here in the corners, the double-headed phoenix. Keep watching. Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. Do you know what you're looking at? Do you know what this is? That is a fertilized female egg that has begun the process of cellular division. That is a fertilized female egg that has begun the process of cellular division to make a host body. It is surrounded by double-headed phoenixes. And all this stuff is going to be in the folder that we're going to right after we do this little video blurb. Here we go. There you go. Okay, I want you to pay attention because I've broken all this down. They're zeroing in on the double-headed phoenix. Okay, so you have, that represents the 2 opposing energies, male energy, female energy. That's what it represents. It represents the good you and the bad you. The double-headed phoenix, which is all of humanity. That is what was birthed. And so it's wearing a crown. Let's look at the crown. Now I can quickly and easily see the crown is just like the serpent crown that was on, the Catholic Church. This is the same thing. It's just got a little bit of a modification. They made it a skull. There's the eye, there's the mouth, and it's female, and these are earrings. And that's why they put it so close. Because the female energy is the skull that rules over the double-headed phoenix system, because each head is attached to her. Okay? Mother Goddess, Virgin. Okay, right there. You know what? That's enough of the video. I'm going to try and keep things moving quickly. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time. Okay, now I want to do another quick video thing, because all this is going to be in your folder. We're connecting data points. Watch this. Y'all remember all these commercials I broke down for you? Yep. Okay, well, let's do the little deviants. Let's see. There's Scion, Fable of the Deviants. Here we go. We'll do it real quick. Okay, there's some images real quick we'll look at. Let's see. Okay, I told you your worst enemy is your own reflection. So the sheep walks up, sees his own reflection in the window. The window starts opening up. There's an XD, which is an emoticon for laugh really loud. That's someone's eyes squinting and an open mouth, but it's sideways. It also represents an X chromosome. So watch. Then when it rolls sideways, it turns into this creature that comes out of your own reflection. So out of your own reflection comes that, and then that comes out and cuts your head off, rips your head off. There you go. Okay, so now let's do little
In a world that is bland, colorless, and cold, where banality grows like a fungus or a mold, there live the boring sheeple who look just like each other.
That looked just like each other.
Darker force rides into town, unleashing demon brothers. Here come the little deviants. They come from underground.
Okay, so here come the little deviants. They come from underground. They're rising from the depths to bring those sheeple down. Okay?
From the depths to take those sheeple down.
Okay, watch right here. Okay, so one of these jumps out from behind the stairwell, and then the sheep jumps out of his skin. Okay, and then this demon puts on the skin of the sheep. Now, I'm going to show you all this in this folder, and we're going to connect it to the Sistine Chapel. We're going to connect it to Putin's inauguration. We're going to connect it to the Apple building. It's all connected. There is no way you can connect this stuff unless it's true. So here we go. Oh, nice. He just put on a suit of skin.
The sheeple are compliant and make for fine
Okay, the
ingredients.
sheeple are compliant and they make for fine ingredients because that's what they eat. Okay, so I'm just going to break that down.
For customizing anything, here
Okay,
come
for customizing anything because they are literally customizing the host body system. For customizing anything, here come the little deviants.
deviants.
So what kills him? His own reflection. Okay, I had to do a quick insert. I'd already done this vid. I had to come back. I forgot this. Before y'all go to the folder, let me show you something. You just watched a little deviant commercial. What did he do? He scared the sheep and he jumped out of his skin. Then what does the little deviant do? He puts on a suit of skin. Now, seriously, folks. I mean, seriously. I mean, really. A car commercial shows a demon putting on a suit of skin. And I showed you yesterday the Sistine Chapel is a dragon. Let me show you something. There's that Sistine Chapel that's a dragon. This is a great image right here. I like the color. You see the dragon? See the eyes, the nose, the mouth. Let's zero in on that archway. That's the nose. Here's Lucifer coming through the archway. Look. One hand up and this way, the other one down, like a reverse. Almost looks like an S, right? See how the hands are like a reverse? Look at this guy right here. Look at Satan's boy sitting right here. Lucifer's guy. See him right here? Okay, now watch this. We'll take this guy and we'll move him right there. You're telling me that on the face of the dragon in the Sistine Chapel, by the way, I don't think anyone on the planet's ever shown everyone this is a dragon. Not that I know of. I've never seen anyone that knows. This whole face of a dragon right here. There's the nose of the dragon. Again, hidden right under your nose. Here is this guy right next to Lucifer. I'll drop it down right there. And there is a little deviant with an X chromosome right on his forehead, representing the virgin. X for X chromosome virgin. And there he is putting on a suit of skin. No different than this guy holding his suit of skin. What's the difference? The answer is there is no difference whatsoever. Here's a guy holding his suit of skin that's going to be his covering in order to deceive others. Same exact thing. Let me show you. See the suit of skin right here? There it is. There it is. Let's just put it right there. So, what's the little deviant putting on? He's putting on a suit of human skin. Just like this guy right here in the Sistine Chapel that's on the face of the dragon. That's just absolutely impossible. Okay, now let's get to the rest of the video. Let me just let this picture of the dragon enlarge once, and then I'll resume the video. There you go. What's this guy doing sitting there with this suit of skin right here? Yep. Who would even notice that? Look how it's flowing. Yep. All right. This is just an insert. There you go. All right. Now, here we go. Now let's just go to the folders now. Here we go. Okay, we're done with that. I'll leave that there. I'll open up the alien folder. Let's go do this now. Y'all ready? There we go. Let me see. Okay. We're going to start right here. I want to show y'all something. I want to start right here. There's all the stuff from the Little Deviant commercial. You just saw it. Okay. Now let me show you. This is a book called A Child is Born. And here's a guy that's got his face painted like the devil, and one eye's winking and one eye's open. This is the most common thing you see in Hollywood. You see all these stars with one eye painted differently than the other eye. Those that wink the eye devise perverse things. They bring evil to pass. So this guy's got the devil painted on his head, and he's got one eye closed. That's just Psalm 35:19 and John chapter 10. Okay, now let me show you the evolution of a human fetus. There you go. There's a human fetus. Let me show you what it looks like. You see right here? Let's see. Let's take that and let's put it, let me size it just a little more. There we go. So let's go like that. There you go. There's a human fetus right there, beginning stages. And Adam called the name of his wife Hava because she is the mother of all the children of men. And the Lord God made to Adam and his wife vestures of honor from the skin of the serpent, which he had cast from him, upon the skin of their flesh instead of the adornment which had been cast away, and he clothed them. Okay, so let's take this child fetus and slide it right over on the face of a serpent. That's kind of odd, isn't it? Okay, let me show you what this fetus looks like now. Let's take this and just put that right there. There you go. Now, the host body is your enemy. There you go. Okay, so a lot of people, you want to see an alien? Look in the mirror. You want to see the serpent? Look in the mirror. You want to see the dragon? Look in the mirror. You want to see your own worst enemy? Look in the mirror. You want to see the devil? Look in the mirror. Huh. Let me show you something really interesting. A lot of people have taken a lot of flack for this, but I don't care. A lot of people just don't understand, so I'm just going to show it to you.
Of course, the lights are I haven't seen this guy. Deceit.
Lust. Deceit. Vanity. All the essentials. And a show in all its forms.
Of course, the license. It's just like in the mirror.
Of course, a license to look in the mirror. Now watch.
Quite a while. Age brings beauty and a spot of bother. Is the dermatologist in the house? Is there a slight blemish I see? I've been a busy little devil. Oh yes.
Is that any different than the Little Deviants commercial But the difference is he's trying to tell you. He's trying to let you know. Keep watching.
Made it all so much easier for me these days. I told Stalin that one day people would bug themselves.
People would bug themselves. You seen Sia's new video? Sia with the balloon, with the one eye dripping, people going through the psychedelic stuff and little antennas coming out. He knows.
Oh, yes, and here we are. The truth is dead, and the KKK are out on the streets of Charlottesville without their city costumes. Who'd have thought? Tulsa, when you don't believe that I exist, that's when I do my best work.
When you don't believe that I exist, that's when I do my best work. Because he knows your own reflection is the devil. If you cast a shadow, you're the devil. He understands. We're going right back into the show notes, but I want to show you this stuff because it's all lining up now, all of it.
Don't believe what you hear, don't believe what you see. If you just close your eyes, you can feel the enemy.
There you go. Okay, and that's enough of that. So the name of the song is called Acrobat. Don't believe your eyes. Don't believe what you see. Don't believe what you hear. Don't believe what you see. If you just close your eyes, you can feel the enemy. He's right. Okay, let's do it. Here we go. Remember that the map, we're going to do a 5-minute review of the building from California, the new Apple building. There it is right here. There's the Apple headquarters that is the new $5 billion building that's on 175 acres. I actually went and looked it up. It is exactly 175 acres, and 175 in the Bible means light bringer. That's what it means. Light bringer. So they knew that. There it is. So here is a circular complex that's on 175 acres, light bringer, and it's got over 12,000 employees. Okay, so let's look at it. Let me show you 175. Okay, just so you know, I'm telling you the absolute truth. Light bringer right there. It's the Hebrew word 175, light bringer. Okay, here we go. Let's keep going. Let's just knock these data points down. Okay, so the building is a circle. It's on a 175 acre complex. That means light bringer. And the name of that is Apple and Macintosh. Here are their logos. Their logos are a representation of the fruit that was not supposed to be touched in the Garden of Eden. So the Apple logo, the Macintosh logo, is a representation of the fall. You think the fall? It's of the angels that became men. That's what it is. Had to fall from somewhere, didn't you? What do you think the fall means? There you go. So there's their logos. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. We all know what their logo is. It's an apple with a bite taken out, representing the fall. Okay, here's where things are going to start getting really good. Okay, there we go. Let me make sure I got my videos up. Okay, here we go. So now we have, let's see. Okay, here we have the Mac logo. Now, the Lord told me to look up the meaning of Mac. And I was like, okay. So Mac means son of. There it is. It's highlighted in blue. The name Mac is Gaelic baby name. The Gaelic meaning of the name Mac is son of. Okay, so this giant company that has a logo of a piece of fruit with a bite taken out of it, what is the name the other name they go by? It's called Macintosh. Let's look up the meaning of Macintosh, whose logo is a piece of fruit with a bite taken out of it, which represents the fall, the entire Garden of Eden. Okay, which was a bunch of angels that wanted host bodies, and you got them. Here we go. Macintosh. The word Macintosh comes from Gaelic Mac and Toisich, which translates to, well, this is so crazy, son of Thane. Look right there. And the word Thane means leader or chief. So there it is. Macintosh means son of Thane, and the word Thane means chief, okay? And their logo is an apple with a bite taken out of it, representing the fall in the garden. Okay, now let's look at the movie that just came out called The Infinity Wars, because the arch bad guy, his name is Thanos, and he's here to destroy everything and recreate everything. He's here to kill everybody, and when I say everybody, everybody but a small percentage, and recreate the whole thing. So here we go. I'm going to click on this. I want to show you where Thanos is used. It's used in a variety of platforms. Here's one platform that's called Warcraft. It's a dark guardian who manipulates and corrupts life energy to sustain himself. That is exactly the truth. That is exactly 100% correct. That's why the Statue of Liberty is standing on top of a hendecagram, an 11-pointed star that represents it's called the Kelipot, a husk, a shell, or a peel, representing the host body system that she rules over, and she's holding a torch, and the bottom of the torch is a penis. I'm sorry. Everything goes to sex once you understand this thing. Okay, so Thanos, he converts energy to sustain himself. Let's look at the meaning of Thanos. And guys, a lot of people say it means God of death. It can, but Thanos is immortality. If you go to the Greek and you look it up, immortality. Okay. So, the Macintosh headquarters, again, light bearer, and it's got the fall of the garden, son of Thane, the ruler, and now we have Thanos. Let me show you some in the Avenger movie or the Infinity War movie. Let me show you the spaceship that shows up in the Infinity War movie. It's the same identical thing as the Macintosh building. That's odd, but look what it's coming down on. This is the spaceship that's coming down that has Thanos in it. That's Thanos's spaceship thing with the guys that work for him. So there you go. And look at that. Is that an Ouroboros? Well, I guarantee it's a circle. Does it represent the female egg? You betcha. Does it represent the Ouroboros? You betcha. Why is there a building right under it that's a perfect triangle? Why does that building not have ridges that go all the way to the top, but a complete triangle that's solid at the top? Because that represents the capstone. And the movie itself is just telegraphing it, because you can tell every tree by its fruit. The movie that was produced was done by a spirit, using humans as puppets to make a movie just to show what that spirit's up to. That's what it's up to. What is this building right here? I recognize that. That's a DNA panel. This is a DNA panel, no doubt about it. Seen them repetitively. DNA panel, Ouroboros, female egg, capstone, triangle, and circle coming down. So there it is. There is the round Ouroboros spaceship coming down with Thanos, just like the Macintosh headquarters, a son of Thane, Macintosh, son of Thane. And they just happen to have a building that is identical to the spaceship in the movie. And here you go. There you go. So the Macintosh headquarters just happens to be identical to the spaceship that's coming down with the guy that's named Thanos. And Macintosh means son of Thane. Okay, that's probably 1 in a million. Here's a quick look at an Ouroboros, and here's Lucent Technologies. Lucent Technologies is at 666, I believe, the same street Donald Trump's building's on. It's Jared Kushner's building. I can't remember if it's fifth. The address is 666. In that building that 666 is Lucent Technologies. Lucent Technologies just happens to be the leading edge of RFID. You know, the chip. Yeah, the company that deals with the chip, Lucent Technologies, they are in 666, whatever the address is of Jared Kushner's building, and this is their logo. Do you notice a similarity between their logo for the RFID chip and the Thanos, the ship of Thanos? Do you notice something similar between Thanos' ship, Lucent Technologies, the Ouroboros, and the Macintosh headquarters? Do you notice something similar between the Thanos ship, the Ouroboros, Macintosh headquarters, and the female egg? Wow. Wow. There's their plan. Oh, now let's get into it. Now it's time to just get into it. So here is the schematic for the Apple, for Macintosh's new headquarters. Let's take the female egg right over here. Oh my goodness. That's just crazy, isn't it? Oh my gosh. It's identical. There you go. So now we know, absolutely, there is no doubt, because we've identified it, the Macintosh building, Son of Thane, is modeled after a fertilized female egg. Why? Because that is how they got their system going. That's why they worship the Virgin. Now, this is something y'all have seen before. Now, remember, I told you everything's about a twin system, duplicitous. Duplicitous. Okay. Let me see if we can get, I'm going to hit the back button on, I'm going to hit back button on this because I want to get back to, okay. We'll get to it in a second. There we go. Okay, here we go. Ready? Y'all remember this image from the Catholic Church, don't you? That this is the double-headed eagle. Well, that's the same thing I just showed y'all. That's when Putin is going in to get inaugurated. Now, again, let me just jump in real quick. The reason I showed you the videos with Bono and the reason I showed you the videos with Putin is because all of it's coming together. It all interlaces. All the data points line up perfectly now. So you can't line these things up without them being true. There's no way. That's why I spent the beginning showing you the videos, because now we're into the meat and the substance. So make sure you stay and watch all this. Here we go. Double-headed phoenix. Where have you seen that before? Putin's inauguration, Donald Trump's coat of arms. Okay, what is this on top of the double-headed phoenix? We'll get to that in a second. It's a serpent. What is this? That's DNA strands. We'll get to that in a second. I want you to look right here. Oh, I really noticed something. This is a man with a collar. Look what's around his neck. Does that look like, it makes the double U system, but look at this. Let me show you something very interesting. You see this fuzzy fur on his garment? Does that make like a slave collar as well as a sperm? It sure does. And look at this. This does not go around. This looks like a female because she's wearing this cloak over her head. This looks female. And then she's got this other, making this other part of the double U system, but it does not go all the way around her neck like a slave collar, I noticed. It does not do that, does it? And I went, huh, that's very interesting. especially with what you're about to see. It becomes very interesting. Watch. Okay, so now we're going to go back and we're going to start zeroing in on this stuff. This is so exciting, man. I can't get enough of this because it's all truth. I mean, here, you know what? I can't get enough of this because listen as wisdom calls out, hear as understanding raises her voice, choose my instruction rather than silver and knowledge over pure gold. For wisdom is more valuable than rubies. Nothing you desire can be compared with it. Amen. Get ready. Get ready for this. Here you go. Okay, I noticed when I was looking at these two intersecting V's, because the two intersecting V's here, let me show you what happens. When I take this head of the serpent right here and I put it right here on top, let me go like this. There you go. So that crown that's on top of those two intersecting V's is the head of a serpent. But what's even more important is what this X represents. That represents the X chromosome. Ha ha ha. You know who the X chromosomes are all about, don't you? Female. Female. Two X chromosomes. So that's what's ruling over the system. And why do you think when Jesus was crucified, what was he in the shape of? This is huge. The letter Y. Like a Y. Restoring the system. Because there's a V on one side, a V on the other side. You know, representing the twin system. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is amazing. Here we go. So you got the twin system. You got a bad guy. I put an upside down cross on him. You got the good guy. So you have the two guys that are in opposition to each other. It makes the W system with an X in the middle. See the red and the blue make an X in the middle. But look who was in between. And what shape was his body in? It was in the shape of a Y. Yeah, anyway, his arms were up, out, in the shape of a Y. Restored because the XY chromosome is male. Unbelievable. Even on the cross itself. Okay, let's go back to the alien folder. Now, here is the X chromosome. Look right there. Bam. Okay, so what you really have here is you have a V, an X, and a V. Okay, that is the system. Let's go to the twins folder. Let's see, where's the twins folder? Right here. So let me show you this. This is huge. Watch this. Okay, because they love to use the letter W, but they don't make it like this. They make it like this, to where the W, instead of being like this, they like to intersect it like that. So it makes an X in the middle. Ah, let me show you why. Okay, so here you go. That's the kind of W they like to make right there, because the two intersecting V's make an X in the middle, and that makes the X chromosome right in the middle that the serpent rules under, because the serpent is female energy. Now, here is a band someone sent me in the comment sections. I decided to add it to the show notes because it was like just so pertinent. It's called Twin Temple. Let's see, look, Twin Temple. I'll go like this, I'll copy it, I'll open a new tab, I'll do Google Images, Twin Temple band, I'll hit enter. There you go. So here's Twin Temple. There's this poorly misled child of the devil that worships the devil. And see, here they are right here. And what are they making with their arms? Look at them. They're both purposely making, that's hard to hold your arm like that. They're making the W system, and what's ruling over it, the skull. That is exactly what's on top of Putin's double-headed phoenix. And that is exactly what's on this right here with these two guys. With these two guys right here. Here and here. They have their arms in the same position. That's why they put the white on them. And they're mocking the cross. And that's why above this, they put the double-headed phoenix, because the serpent rules over that system. Okay, now let's keep going. Let's just keep knocking it out. Okay, so here we go. Twin temple. There you go, because do you not know you are the temple of God and the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? There you go. We are the temple. And they know it. And they know that death rules over the twin temple, and they worship death. Okay, there it is. Okay, now let's go down. Let's see. I'm going to slide these guys down to here. Just like, see, there's male and there's female, and the crown is a skull. So let's look at this let's look at this double-headed phoenix that was in the inauguration of Putin. There you go. Okay. Now, I don't even have to draw it in. There's the eye, there's the eye, there's the mouth. That's a skull with earrings on that is the queen, which is death, which rules over the male and female system that are in opposition to each other. But I want you guys to look at the guy on the white horse with his spear going into the mouth of a dragon, okay? That's called the coat of arms for Moscow. And so this is the coat of arms for Russia, and this is a part of the Russian flag. But for Moscow itself, it has a guy on a white horse with a spear, see it right there, going into the mouth of a dragon. That's really weird, because like a week ago, I put a picture in the show note folder of a kid out in California that did a mural, and I knew that he was being controlled by that same spirit. Let me show you the mural that the kid did, but before I do, let me show you Donald Trump's coat of arms. Donald Trump's coat of arms right here. It's got the double-headed phoenix, the same as the Russian coat of arms. So Donald Trump's coat of arms right here in my hand with the green dragon head. See the green dragon head? I'm going to go take that green dragon head and the double-headed phoenix, and I'm going to put it right up there on the Russian coat of arms. Okay, why is that so significant? Well, you see the Russian, or the guy on the horse, sticking the spear in the mouth of the dragon. Isn't it weird that Donald Trump's coat of arms is also a double-headed phoenix? That means the same system. So here's the thing. The exact same system that controls Putin, that controls Hillary, that controls Trump, unless you've been freed of the system, you're just part of the puppet show. I'm showing you the puppet show. I'm showing you the grandmaster behind the scene, the man behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz, pulling all the levers, and I'm pulling back the curtain just like Toto right now. I'm just, and you guys are looking over at the man behind the curtain. Okay, so here it is. Watch this. So, I mean, this is not arguable. Look, double-headed phoenix, dragon. Double-headed phoenix, guy sticking a spear in the mouth of a dragon. Watch this. I'll take this and I'll put it over here. This part right here, this is that right there, the center. I'm going to put it down here now. Now I'm going to take Donald Trump's dragon and I'm going to put it right here like, oh, wow, like he's sticking the spear in the mouth of Donald Trump's dragon. Oh, let me show you a mural from a kid out in California at a high school that's very controversial. I've had this for like maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. Look at this jaguar god with a spear with Donald Trump's head cut off going through his mouth. Oh, just like what I just showed you. This is a spirit. This is the grand puppet master of the earth doing this through humans. So, So you're looking at the grand puppet master having a high schooler do Donald Trump on a spear. Let's see. There's the dragon. There's Trump. Trump is the dragon on his own coat of arms. He's also the double-headed phoenix, which is exactly the same thing as the Russians' coat of arms. I mean, probably just a coincidence. Let me make it even more coincidental for you. Okay? Everything goes down to the most essential components, sperm and egg. That's where this all goes. That's why, remember Kehinde Wiley when he was talking about the portrait of Napoleon? He said, I like to take little shots at the male bravado and breaking it down to its smallest component, which is the male sperm. It's my way of taking little shots at masculinity because he's gay. He's got a different spirit running him, and it's a feminine thing. And I got nothing against Kehinde Wiley, nothing, but I'm observing what's going on. So he has a different energy in him. And that energy wants to mock masculinity. He likes to take little shots at the bravado. So that's why I take little shots and I put sperm in my paintings. Like on Barack Obama's forehead, and the sperm on Obama is the bite of a serpent, which you'll see in just a minute. Well, so let's break down the female thing to its initial component. Oh, the female egg. Well, you know what? Let me go ahead and rotate this. Rotate 90 clockwise. And then let's go ahead and enlarge it. So now you've got every data point is hitting now. Look at this. Okay, so here's a female egg, okay? And so then the female egg, it gets fertilized and it starts cellular division. So let me go like this, and there you go. And bam. And even though this is not sized correctly, this outer ring, inner rings, and then inside, all the cells start dividing. Now remember I told you during that video to pay attention to the stars. Remember the 8-pointed star I showed you? That's the star of Venus, the star of Ishtar. And it's going to blow your mind where that goes. So during this video that you saw where Putin would be inaugurated, you saw this, and that just happens to coincide with this, and this. Like, let's get a close-up of that. What happens when you turn this thing upside down? Oh, it becomes a feathered serpent. This is the eye of the serpent. This is the eye of the serpent. And this is the nose, the front end of the nose of the serpent. There's the eye of the serpent. So this is the feathered serpent. And that's what motivated this painting. And there is a spear coming through the mouth of Donald Trump. And it's no accident that he's got hair that makes devil horns, just like a video that I showed you of this guy right here trying to put it out there for everybody as well. Pretty wild. So there it is. There's a spear going through the mouth of the guy that's got a dragon on his coat of arms, which is the same thing as the seal of Moscow. Wow. Unbelievable. Now, that led me to the Lord telling me, okay, take a look at the Vatican. And I was like, okay, take a look at the ceiling of the Vatican. And I was like, okay, because I'd already discerned now that the ceiling where Putin got inaugurated, the ceiling there, he got inaugurated under a female egg. Well, isn't that perfect? Because that female egg surrounded on every four corners with a double-headed phoenix, and it's got a crown of a woman that's a skull that rules over the whole system. And there you go. And then the one that rules over that is the serpent. And the serpent rules over the what? The X chromosome. I could not put this together this fast unless this were true. Look at it. There it is. You know what? I'm going to slide down here better. So there, the serpent rules over serpent, which is death, rules over the X chromosome. That's why Jesus was crucified and he was in the shape of a Y. We needed a kinsman redeemer, male energy, to come get us. That's why the night I prayed Our Father, and I got saved. And then after I got saved, I was told by an angel to say a Hail Mary. Everybody mocked me for that. He looked at me and said, say a Hail Mary, and I started it. I felt life and light leaving my body. Vindicated. That's where death comes from. I'm reverse engineering death. Okay, so here we go. So you see the 8-pointed star at Putin's female egg? So here's the 8-pointed star right here at Putin's female egg with the double-headed phoenix. There it is. That's where Putin got inaugurated. Right under a double-headed phoenix and the all-seeing eye. That's where Putin got inaugurated. Let me let this thing buffer and try and get this thing bigger. Okay, so anyway, that's a little fuzzy, but you can see the 8-pointed star right there, and they go all the way on the arches where the female egg is. And then you have double-headed phoenixes all the way around the fertilized egg. Okay, great. So what, Jonathan? So let's do another data point. Let's have another data point connect. So the Lord told me, I want you to go look at the Vatican. I want you to look up. And I was like, oh my God, I know what it is now. It's all by design. And I looked up and I went, oh my God, look at all the 8-pointed stars. There's 32 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 32 8-pointed stars. And then I recognized they put a ring around it for a reason. I almost feel like I'm in a Pink Floyd show. This is crazy. I was like, oh my God, those are all stars of Venus. Oh, y'all remember the Adidas commercial, The Birthing of Venus and Mistakes? We made a few. The people hanging upside down. Remember Adidas original, The Birth of Venus? Here, let me just give you a quick reminder of that. And Google Images, Adidas Birth of Venus. Because now they all just tie together, don't they? There you go. There's the Adidas commercial. Look. See? Birth of Venus right there. Remember the Adidas commercial? There's the girl in the Vesica Pisces. Right? There she is. There's Bocelli's The Birth of Venus right there. That was in the Adidas commercial. That's weird. What is this, a gift? Oh, look at that. That's perfect, isn't it? The Birth of Venus. Wow. Isn't that cool? Okay, so there you go. Now, let's go back to here. Okay, so now we have on the ceiling of the Vatican 32 8-pointed stars. The 8-pointed star, if you don't believe me, let's look it up. 8-pointed star, Venus, the 8-pointed star of the essence, the moon and the sun. Okay, what is the thing that the popes carry on their crosier? You know, it's really monstrance or crosier. They have the sun. Remember in my other folder I showed you guys the Pope, and he's got the sun and the crescent moon in there, both together. You know what? Let's just open it up. We got to do it. I got to open this up. We just have to. All the data points have intersected now, which is just, yes, awesome. So there's no way to do this. This is impossible unless it's true. Let's go ahead and hit it. I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but every time I touch on something, I want to get to it. Look, solving the riddle of ages. That's what the Lord told me he was going to use me to do. I was like, you did it. Apollyon Locust 1 folder, I believe, is what it's in. Lord, please be in this one. I don't want to have to look around. There you go. Oh, my goodness. There's the Pope. See, look, what does he have right there? He has his star of Virgina, like Virgin, and in the middle is a crescent moon. There it is. Told you. Exactly. And there's the Statue of Liberty ruling over the twin system, and the twin system has been now turned into one. There it is. Okay, now back. Stay on task. Okay, so 8-pointed star equals what? The star of Venus, the morning star, and the evening star. Venus is the morning star and the evening star because it can be observed more clearly and longer than any other star. She could serve as a guide, as a point of orientation for the Essens on their travel through the desert. The first star to be seen when the moon shines, and the last star to remain visible when the sun starts shining. Venus also has to do with their own traditions according to the Essens, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so Venus is the morning star. You know, a lot of people like, well, Jesus and Lucifer, I've seen that interchanged. That's a whole nother subject. The morning star, so they're birthing the morning star. Let's go back and look at those pictures again. Okay, so I looked up and I went, oh my gosh, I know what it is. I even saw the picture at the very top, but I have to buy the image. And then there's writing around the top in Latin. I was like, what is that writing around the top? Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves. I was going to do a really snarky thing, but I'm not going to do it. I'm struggling right now. Okay, so let me show you this 8-pointed star right here. I just want to show you. The 8-pointed star is called the star of Ishtar and Venus. There it is. There are a number of traditional symbols that have the same geometric pattern as Moorcock symbol of chaos, such as any various 8-pointed stars. The star of, see, there it is, Ishtar, Venus. The Eastern Dharmakra and the wheel of the year, but none of these were symbols of chaos, and the limbs are not arrows. Okay, so anyway, the 8-pointed star, Ishtar and Venus, is all around the top of the Vatican, and there's 32 of them, and the number 32 in Strong's is an angel. Like that angel, because it's the morning star would be Lucifer. There's 32 of them. 32 is angel. I know that. So if it's in the number of stars is 32, and then the identification of the star is Venus. And so there is the 8-pointed star of Venus, the morning star. And here is some of its esoteric meaning: Isis, Nergal, Ra, Ishtar, I don't know what that is, Marduk, Thoth, and Bast. Okay, now, where do you see this? You see this in ancient Samaria and other cultures. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-pointed star and the crescent moon. Wow. Well, guess what happens up here? When you look up, you see a crescent moon. You'll see a crescent moon when the light comes in right here. See the crescent moon? Wow, that's crazy. What are all these interesting lines? I was looking at those and then all of a sudden I went, oh my gosh, what's the top of the dome represent? A pregnant belly. That's what it represents. Pregnant, and the crown represents the one who's in charge, the king or queen, right? The ruler. The crown represents the ruler. Well, the dome is on top of the head of a serpent. I showed you the whole Vatican is a damn snake with a crown. Okay, but it also represents a pregnant womb. Well, remember the picture that we looked at of where Putin got inaugurated? What was up on that ceiling? A fertilized female egg, and it was part of a dome. Well, let's go look at the Vatican again. Wow, it's a dome too. And there's 32 8-pointed stars, angel, Venus, the morning star, Lucifer, and then I went, oh my God. I know what those are. Y'all know what these are? Y'all know what all these are? I do. Let me show you what they are. Those are the prison bars closing because in the very act of sex, when the male penis ejaculates into that system, that sperm, when it hits the female egg, it goes inside. Two pronucleuses form, and then these tendrils, like prison bars, go and they pull them together like this until the two cells intersect. Yeah. Okay, so there's these bars that form. Now remember, there's 23 chromosomes in each pronucleus. That's why George Bush read Psalm 23 in front of the Twin Tower Memorial. 23 chromosomes, 23 chromosomes come together, representing the two different cells, male and female, and they come together. When they intersect, you got 46. What psalm did Barack Hussein, I'm the Antichrist, Obama read? At the same place, except during the construction of the One World Freedom Tower. He read Psalm 46. What? Yeah, Psalm 46. You can't make this stuff up. Yeah, so Bush reads 23 and 23. Boom! Obama reads 46. And two buildings become one building. It's like, dude. Yeah, you like the drama? Hey, at least I'm not giving you some special dream I had. I'm sorry, Lord, I couldn't help it. I just can't take it. Anyway, here we go. Let's watch. Let's watch the microtubules. Let me give you that visual again. Once the male, you know what? I'm going to let you watch the whole thing. Just watch. You need to see this. This is amazing. Okay, here we go. Goes in, turns the world upside down. Here.
Reaction spreads outward. The zona pellucida hardens. This event causes changes. Will fertilize the egg. Reach the zona pellucida, they attach to specialized sperm receptors on the surface, which triggers their acrosomes to release digestive enzymes, enabling the sperm to burrow into the layer.
Into the layer?
Inside the zona pellucida is a narrow, fluid-filled space just outside the egg cell membrane. The first sperm to make contact will fertilize the egg. After a perilous journey and against incredible odds, a single sperm attaches to the egg cell membrane. Within a few minutes, their outer membranes fuse and the egg pulls the sperm inside. This event causes changes in the egg membrane that prevent other sperm from attaching to it. Next, the egg releases chemicals that push other sperm away from the egg and create an impenetrable fertilization membrane. As the reaction spreads outward, the zona pellucida hardens, trapping any sperm unlucky enough to be caught inside. Outside the egg, sperm are no longer able to attach to the zona pellucida. Meanwhile, inside the egg, the tightly packed male genetic material spreads out. A new membrane forms around the genetic material, creating the male pronucleus. Inside, the genetic material reforms into 23 chromosomes.
23 chromosomes.
The female genetic material...
Watch, you see this right here? You see those? I want you to just, I want you to pretend you rotated it this way and then you're looking up inside of it. Then you'd be looking right up in the Vatican Dome. Because see, one pulls the other, they're both pulled together like this by these microtubules, and then they go boom, prison door shut, the prison is shut, and the two have intersected, and you got another host body, another prison. Wow.
The sperm with the egg finishes dividing. resulting in the female pronucleus, which also contains 23 chromosomes. As the male and female pronuclei form, spiderweb-like threads, called microtubules, pull them toward each other. The two sets of chromosomes join together, completing the process of fertilization. At this moment, a unique genetic
There it
code
is.
arrives.
And then you get your Under Armour t-shirts, and then you get all your Chanel and Gucci clothing, and then you get all your logos that have right side up, upside down stuff on them. You make the Washington Monument, and you get your MasterCard and all your other really fun stuff that comes with it. Woohoo! There you go. Uh-huh. And the prison has been made. And who rules over that prison? Who is the ruler of that prison? I'll tell you who's the ruler of that prison. Uh, yeah, the snake. The one that's the serpent wearing the crown. Now, check this out. There is the angel, Angelos 32, the morning star, and that is the representation of the formation of Lucifer in the flesh. That's what this is. Wow. Now, what is that writing on the top, Jonathan? Well, I'm glad you asked me because I was like, what the hell is that writing on the top? And so I went and looked it up. I went and I hunted it up. I'm like, what is that writing? And underneath the structure is the tone. By the way, I'm sorry. I'm like, I just like, I got to give it all to him, give it all to him, give it all to him. It's like, oh my gosh. So I went and looked up what is, what is the very top of the Vatican writing. It says underneath this structure, which meaning the dome, is the tomb of Saint Peter. Is the tomb of Saint Peter, where according to tradition, the remains of the apostle are kept. That's wonderful. Making it one of the places most venerated by Christians to go worship a bunch of bones. Recent archaeological evidence seems to confirm this tradition where people go and worship bones. Above the baldachin is a majestic dome with paintings on the inside modeled between 1603 and 1613 after cartoons by Giuseppe Cesari. Along the base is a gold inscription in Latin, and you can read it for yourself. You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and I will give to you the keys to heaven. Okay. Guys, that is why the entire altar is a dead sheep and a vagina and a penis. All that stuff I've been showing you, try to disprove any of this. I challenge any person on the face of the planet to try and disprove any of this. Can't do it. It's all perfect. Let me show you a little thing about Ishtar. The star that's, look, see this star? This is all around the inside of the Vatican. Ishtar, Venus. You know who Ishtar is? Let me show you a picture of Ishtar from my little digging. The eight-pointed star of Ishtar. They're trying to attach it to Trump. Here is the symbology of Ishtar. With you go to the Sumerian and all these old petroglyphs, you can find this. And here is the symbol of Ishtar. Look at the body position. Look at what's on the head. Look at the leg. Okay, you ready? Let's go back. Let's go back and match this all up. Oh, you mean like Miss Madonna when she did the Super Bowl. Dun 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 dun. Yep, just like Madonna. Okay. That's why the whole Sistine Chapel is the big face of a dragon. Okay, because now here we go. Now I'm going to summarize. The dragon is the cumulative sum of all of humanity. We are the dragon. We are the devil. We are the serpent. Woo! The host body system. Now, there's other forces that are running it. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities of darkness and wickedness in heavenly places. But now they're all going to be to their prisons, and the end has come. There is the entire cumulative sum of the wall of the Sistine Chapel. That is a dragon. In this eye of the dragon, there's a bunch of guys that have their hands tied. They're trying to hold up the cross from falling over, and they've all been turned into the devil. In this eye right here, there's a bunch of bad angels trying to erect the beam on top of the line of the tribe of Judah. I've already gone over this whole thing. I could spend a whole nother hour on it, but this video's starting to get a little bit long. So I'm going to wrap it up in the next 5 minutes. So anyway, so the whole Sistine Chapel, dragon. The whole system is a twin system. Let me see if I can pull up. No, I want to go to Mr. Barack Hussein. I'm the Antichrist Obama. I'll go there in just a sec. The pillar at St. John's. It shows a child being birthed. It's upside down. That's not the way a child's birthed. So let's turn it upside down. And that same child being birthed is the dragon. The birth of flesh is the dragon. And yeah, what's in its mouth is a bunch of stars, by the way, which is us. Those are a bunch of stars. Look, see them? Let's just open it up. There you go. See the 5-pointed stars in there? Yep, bunch of stars. That's right. Turned into food for the dragon. And that's the female reproductive system. Now let's go down here and let's look at Barack Obama. That's got a Tyrannosaurus Rex on one side of his head in the presidential portrait, and he's got a dead sheep with the tongue sticking out on the other side. I've shown you these videos. Let's enlarge Obama's face, and let's look at the fang of the serpent right there. There is the fang of a serpent, and then it makes a hairpin turn, and it turns into a sperm. You know what? I'm going to hit the enlarge button because I don't want that little banner getting in the way. You can see, there it is. There is a sperm. It makes a 90-degree turn, and there's the tail of the sperm. So that's one fang of the serpent. There's the other fang of the serpent. There's a dead sheep with its tongue sticking out. Here's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. There's the eye. There's the eyebrow coming down the nose. There's the open mouth, bottom jaw. And the cumulative sum of the twin system that Barack Obama is sitting in right here, Tyrannosaurus Rex, dead sheep, which is identical to a hieroglyph that's 1,300 years old, which I've already proven. There you go. And this cumulative sum is the head of a damn snake with its mouth open, which goes back to the Garden of Eden. So let's just look at it. So now I've just done the snake. There is Barack Obama, and I've just drawn it in differently. There you go. Let me shrink it a little bit. There you go. So there it is. Now, let me show you something. You see that sperm right there on Barack Obama's head? That's the fang of the serpent. So the serpent's got his mouth open because the serpent is striking to bite. Okay, so that sperm is the serpent's bite. Let me show you a type of alcohol called Mickey Finn's Serpent Bite. And then let's put Mickey Finn's Serpent Bite right next to Obama. Okay, so here's Mickey Finn's Serpent Bite. We're going to take a very close look at that logo right there. There we go. There is the Serpent Bite logo. I'm going to slide it down. So all you see is the sperm part. There's the sperm. I want you to pay very close attention to there. I want you to look at the part at the leading part of the sperm right there. And then they've done a little augmentation like the head of a cobra. And then there's the sperm. Well, now if I move it up a little bit, there's the face of an owl. Molech. Move it down a little further, now it's a serpent. And it's going for an apple, kind of like Macintosh's logo. Serpent bite. That's really funny. Ha ha ha. And there's Barack Obama. And here's the big fang right here. And we're going to zero in on it. So you can see that's really a sperm right here. And it makes a bend and goes down his face. And there's another sperm right here. And there's a serpent coming down right here with its mouth open. And this sperm right here is in the mouth of this serpent that's eating that sperm right here. There you go. So that's exactly correct. How did they get all this right? That's amazing. Now let's look at Mickey Finn's serpent bite, and let's look at an actual sperm. Let's take a look at this diagram of a sperm. There you go. See the acrosome right there on the front end, right there, and the nucleus and the head. Okay, that'll be enough. Let's just go over here and let's take it over here. Let's see, let's take it right next to this, and then we'll enlarge that again. There's your acrosome right there. And there's the head of the sperm. That is a sperm. And it's also the serpent bite. So the serpent's bite in the Garden of Eden was a sperm. That's why Obama's got a sperm on his forehead. He's a serpent from the garden, reincarnated, coming out of the pit, Apollyon. When I say reincarnated, what I mean is he's risen from the pit. Yeah. I mean, you can't even think this stuff up. Okay, let me just back out. Let me just look at my folders. Yeah, okay. Just to make sure you actually saw that what's really on Obama's head. There is the Tyrannosaurus. There's the eye of the Tyrannosaurus. There's the eyebrow coming down the nose. There's the open mouth with all the white teeth I penciled in. White teeth. And it's back to back. Think of a double-headed phoenix. One head of the phoenix pointing this way, one this way. Yeah, there's one energy, there's the other energy. This energy is eating this energy. End of story. Yeah, no special dream today, I'm sorry. I'd like to do a quick advertisement. Okay, so someone left a comment that a certain someone we know, Nosy Barker, has been falsely filing reports against people on their videos, even though they really like spam. Anyway, so yeah, but that's okay because what goes around eventually comes and gets you. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, you should never do unto anyone what you don't want done to yourself. That's what God says. Only do to others what you want done to yourself. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, thus fulfilling the law and the prophets. That's what we're supposed to do. So, all right. Well, there you go, guys. Unbelievable. There's the double-headed phoenix right there. There it is. Tyrannosaurus eating the sheep. That's the system. Double-headed phoenix. Wow. And you can bet anyone that doesn't think Barack Obama's the Antichrist, then maybe you could explain this picture. But this is real data, not some wonderful dream. Okay, there you go. All right, guys, God bless. Anyway, yeah, sorry, man. I just had to cram a lot of data in really fast. All right, God bless. Take care.